All right, this is part 2 when the Rollin 60s forced the wrong rapper to check in. All right? Let me know where y'all from and let me know if you would have checked in. And if not, what you would have done. All right, this video right here, we're going to get into it. Make sure y'all subscribe, Rich House Reviews, if you have a good time here. And let's get right into the video, man. Let's get right into the video. Let's not waste no time. And don't be bougie.
That goddamn MC Hammer, very serious about beef. Y'all laugh and y'all joke about Hammer. No, 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 no. MC Hammer was there. Approached me. He was like, Red, I'm gonna tell you something, you young, but I don't allow nobody talking about my mama. You understand me? I said, yes, sir.
Sure, he had the flashy dance moves, the parachute pants, and a style that didn't exactly scream tough guy. But behind all that, Hammer had real street cred. He was well connected, highly respected, and backed by a crew that didn't play around.
I ain't know that.
His entourage was something like I never seen in my life. Like it was literally
100 people.
More than 100 people.
Benito, one of Hammer's vocalists, shared an incident from back in the day. After an event in Los Angeles, Hammer and his crew were packing into their vans to head back to the hotel when they noticed a familiar face rolling up. Michael Concepcion, one of the original founders of the Crips.
It's this dude in his wheelchair and about 4 or 5 dudes with him, hanging out. I know they Crips because my cousins are all Crips in LA. So I'm like, that's some gangbangers.
Michael told Hammer they needed to talk. Basically, he offered Hammer protection while he was in LA, warning him that anything could happen in the city.
They're like, hey, I want to holler at you for a minute, Hammer. Now, the thing is...
See, once you fall for that, like, look, this is what I'm going to tell people. If you're going out of town, you got to bring your people. You got to bring your people. Bring your people. If not, have some, like, things have to be lined up. And another thing is, nobody should know when you arriving and nobody should know when you're leaving. That's the key, too.
Mike already knew who Hammer was because they did the video. We were on the same gang before. So basically he came with Hammer like, hey man, it's LA and everything, man, and things can happen, you know what I'm saying? You just holler at me, man, you know what I'm saying? Holler at me for protection.
Hammer was taken aback by the whole thing and asked why he'd need protection when he had his own squad of bodyguards. 12 of them, in fact. And these guys weren't your average security detail. Some of them were straight up killers. So Hammer wasn't feeling like he needed Michael's help.
Just holler at me, man, you know what I'm saying? Holler at me for protection. I'm saying, protection for what? See, man, I got 12 bodyguards out there. 4 or 5 of them straight killers. You know what I'm saying? So, what you talking about? You know what I'm saying? I don't need no protection.
Michael didn't seem to like Hammer's response and kept pushing, saying Hammer should watch his back.
You need to holler at me, man. If you don't, something could happen to you, whatever. He said, what you trying to say? He said, you need to go ahead and, take care of that and everything will be cool. He said, to start strangling me,
That's when things got heated. Hammer's bodyguards were ready to handle the situation right then and there, but Hammer held them back. Instead, he made it clear to Michael that one phone call from him could shut the whole thing down. Hammer wasn't bluffing either. The next morning, Michael actually came back to apologize, showing just how much respect Hammer commanded.
And Hammer and our people looking like, yeah, I'm waiting for you to move. Hammer like, hey, what's up? He said, hey man, it's like this. I'll make one phone call and all this will go away.
Next up is Snoop Dogg. After he blew up, his own crew, the Long Beach Crips, started feeling some type of way. They thought Snoop wasn't doing enough for them. He kept repping and naming.
See, we on the East Coast. We ain't know nothing about none of this was going on the West Coast.
Dropping the set, but they claimed he wasn't giving back. One specific incident that really rubbed them the wrong way was brought up by a Crip from Long Beach named Flossie. According to him, one of the homies had opened up a new restaurant in the hood, and it was quickly becoming a popular spot. Since Snoop had the platform and the influence, they reached out, hoping he could invest in the business or at least promote it on his Instagram to help it gain even more traction.
My homeboy Kenneth had a little soul food restaurant, you know what I'm saying? And I was hanging around and the homies was hanging up there until this was beginning to be the spot.
But instead of supporting, Snoop reportedly brushed them off. Flossie claimed that Snoop acted like they were just looking for a handout, like they were always expecting him to give them money, when that wasn't the case at all.
I'm hearing all this sidebar chatter that Snoop, and I'm reading texts back and forth with Snoop to the homies, and he talking to homies like we peasants or something, like he gonna make the world think always depend on him for money.
Then came the rumors. Word started spreading that Snoop had been straight up banned from his old neighborhood. The story was that he pulled up to Long Beach with 3 or 4 cars full of security. But instead of being welcomed, he was rejected. The gang wasn't showing him any love, and supposedly, they had made it clear that he wasn't one of them anymore. Naturally, this didn't sit right with Snoop. He wasn't about to let people spread stories like that without addressing it. In a video response, he shut down the rumors, saying none of that ever happened. According to him, it was just a bunch of bitter gang members trying to stir up drama because he was focusing on mentoring young talent instead of associating with them.
You 50 years old. You can't get a job, cuz? You mad at me, cuz? Because I won't help you no more?
Wow.
Because I can't do nothing to help you no more? Because I'm focused on helping out the kids, but mad and jealous at me because of what I'm doing? Trying to blemish my name and my character?
A lot of people, especially those from Long Beach, had Snoop's back on this one. They argued that if it wasn't for Snoop, Long Beach wouldn't have the recognition it has today. To them, this whole situation just boiled down to jealousy.
Snoop had been away from the city, but at the same time, he also...
See, that's a damn shame, man, where you could get out of the damn, like, people work hard to get out of this situation and this circumstance, and then when you do that, you got to worry about people saying you got too big. So what the hell? I'm supposed to stay here with y'all?
So gave back in many ways, but you know, you always gonna have haters when you popping.
Yeah.
You don't have, I mean, if you don't have haters, you're not popping.
I don't know about these shit, but you know, and he was doing for the youth. He been doing, his football league been around, but people don't look at it like.
His football league done got mothers so happy and sons out the hood.
He real for that because he grown himself. He had to work for what he got right now and all that, you know? So for another man to say they ain't give him not no handouts out here, we grown out here too.
If it wasn't for him,
so
he
any say Snoop can't go back to the hood and all that, they're a lie, you feel me? Because Snoop got money.
Now, there were some rappers that the gangs did successfully extort. One example being Rick Ross, and it all stemmed from a feud between them. This beef was no joke.
I don't know about this.
The GDs didn't just make threats. They posted death threats against Ross on YouTube, making it very clear they were serious. Things escalated to the point where a hit squad even opened fire on Ross in South Florida.
Miami.
So what exactly did Ross do to get on their bad side? It all goes back to Ross's hit song BMF, where he raps, "I think I'm Big Meech, Larry Hoover, whipping work, hallelujah." This line didn't sit well with Kevin Clayton, aka OGKK, a local gangster with deep industry connections. OGKK was the go-to guy for rappers visiting Atlanta and one of the chief enforcers of the hate committee of the GD. He felt disrespected by Ross's lyrics, believing it was inappropriate for Ross to use the name of GD founder Larry Hoover without permission from the gangster disciples.
I think I'm Big Meech, Larry Hoover, whipping.
KK reacted harshly to Rick Ross. On October 29th,
Yo, how you gonna ban somebody from using your name?
2012, he released a video on YouTube threatening Ross and declaring him banned from Georgia.
The service announcement right here, straight to the point. This straight at Rick Ross, the whole Maybach music. Real talk. Hey Rick, straight up, you know what you did first time we gave you a pass on the Larry Hoover Big Meech song. You supposed to took care of some business you didn't take care of. You know who you need to tune in to.
The video from KK went absolutely viral in the hip-hop world, and Rick Ross had no choice but to respond. At that time, Ross happened to be on tour for his new album, God Forgives I Don't. MMG, Maybach Music Group, was dominating the rap scene, with Meek Mill emerging as a star, Wale becoming a top artist, and French Montana dropping back-to-back hits. This was a massive tour, selling out stadiums across the country. Coincidentally, just weeks after KK's video, Rick Ross announced the rest of the MMG tour was canceled. This included tour dates in North Carolina, where the local GDs released a video similar to KK's. As soon as the news broke, everyone assumed Ross was terrified of the GDs, forcing him to respond to the rumors. On December 10th, 2012, Rick Ross addressed everything in a radio station interview. He explained why the tour was canceled and insisted it wasn't because of any threats from the GDs.
I canceled the rest of the tour due to the promoter wasn't really handling his business, you know what I'm saying? He canceled a date of mine. I was going to Tucson, Arizona. Okay. So I just felt like there was some power that I needed to take away from homie, so I canceled the rest of the dates. And never was it due to any threats. You know, I'm a certified man. I am a real boss. So don't never get it twisted. Ricky Rose is a boss. I'm certified worldwide. I could put 1,000 gangsters in any hood. Pull up the footage of me walking out in Chicago on the stage with the chinchilla dragging on the floor. You let me know if that's the swagger of somebody that's in fear of their life.
Ross stood his ground, defending his reputation like a man. But what do you think? Did he cancel the tour because of the GDs, or was it just a coincidence? Before you decide, let's dive into the next incident that might shape your opinion. January 27th, 2013 was Rick Ross's 37th birthday. He headed out to Brickell, Miami to celebrate. After a joyous night, he drove home in his Rolls Royce with a woman named Shataraya at 4:42 a.m. While driving through Fort Lauderdale to his beachfront mansion, a car pulled up beside him. The window rolled down, and shots were fired at Ross's car. Ross punched the gas, speeding down Los Olas Boulevard. After creating some distance, he made a sharp right onto 15th Avenue, losing control of the Rolls Royce and crashing into a nearby apartment building. Fortunately, both Rick Ross and Shataraya were okay. However, this was a terrifying incident for the Teflon Don. The Fort Lauderdale police were concerned and approached Ross for details, but he refused to make any statements. The case remains unsolved, leaving everyone to speculate. Was it the gangster disciples making a point, local Miami beef, or just a random attack? Given the timing, many online speculated it was the GDs. This rumor gained traction when, in a 2016 testimony, an Atlanta GD named Markel White made some shocking statements. He told the courts that after the incident, Rick Ross agreed to pay the GDs $6 million to get off his trail. However, he clarified that the final payment was $3 million from Rick Ross to the Atlanta GDs. He didn't specify who exactly got the money, but we can imagine who it was. But getting back to those who stood their ground against gangs, we have Waka Flocka. Back in 2010, Waka was shooting a music video with Gucci Mane, just doing his thing, when suddenly this dude shows up on the set and starts yelling all sorts of crazy stuff at him.
I'm here. I'm here, bro. I'm not studying. I'm Gucci, you cool.
Now, Waka had apparently stepped on some toes because some locals weren't too thrilled about him being in their neighborhood. There's actually a video shot by worldstarhiphop.com where you can see this guy walking up to the video shoot just hurling insults at Waka Flocka. It turns out, these two had some beef in the past, and the guy wasn't happy about seeing Waka on his turf. If you watch the video, you'll notice the dudes rolling up on Waka are all rocking the Crips signature blue, making it pretty clear where their affiliations lie. Things got heated fast, and for a moment, it looked like Waka and the guy were about to throw down right there on the set. But thankfully, nothing major went down. And
all right, well, checking in, I feel, is optional. You know, some people are not going to do it, and they're going to deal with the ramifications, and some people are going to make sure that they protect it at all costs. I just think it's just about what level of your career you at. If you at a certain level, you should have security that's ready to die for you. If you at a different level, then you might need to get some people from around the hood that's, you know, strapped up. Either way, make sure you protect it. Y'all let me know what y'all feel about this in the comments. Make sure y'all subscribing at the top bell. See you on the next one. I'm out of here.